1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a couple of things that we need to cover before we get into playing them. First, with the right hand, I have written in the strategy of down-up strokes that I used when recording this piece of music. I used this strategy of down-up strokes because rhythmically it made the most sense for me and I could play it accurately quicker that way. However, there could be other ways to play the down-up strokes. The main thing that you want to employ when you're calculating whether or not to use a down or an upstroke is if the note needs to be strong and have a strong resonance and accent, then it should probably be a downstroke. In fact, in some of the melody that we play, especially during the solo, I'm using all downstrokes because the notes need to have a strong, powerful resonance to them. The other aspect of playing and learning this melody is that there is a lot of rhythmic complexity to this, especially for some of my beginner students in terms of where they're at with reading music. You do not have to worry about comprehending every single rhythm that we play and understanding all of that mathematically or academically. The main thing that you want to get used to doing is hearing where I come in. If I'm coming in on the and of 3, then you want to be able to conceptually understand where beat 3 is and that you come in right after beat 3. Or maybe that you come in the middle of the beat. Maybe that's all you can do for now. But eventually, you want to be able to know, oh, I'm coming in on the and of 3, or I'm ending this lick on the and of 4. That's why it sounds so cool. But calculating every single rhythmic nuance when you're learning this is just not necessary. The other aspect or skill that you should be going after with this particular piece of music is memorizing everything that you play, internalizing the melody, and being able to reproduce it. I am going to do that for you today on the metronome in this video. So, eventually the goal should be put away the music and just play the melody along with me with the metronome or along with the arrangement at the beginning of this video. So memorizing and internalizing the melodic content. Very important stuff to do. So the first melodic motive that we're going to do comes in measure 8 and ends in measure 9. It comes in on the and of 3 in measure 8. I will count one dead measure and then the measure that we're playing. At 80 beats per minute on the metronome, I'll do this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The next little melodic motive that we're going to do comes in on the and of 2 in measure 10 and ends on the and of 4 in measure 11. 80 beats per minute. I'll count one dead measure, then the measure that we're playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 'Alright, so the next motive in measure 12 and 13 is the exact same motive that we did in the beginning. So I'm going to do it again just to be sure that we cover it thoroughly. 80 beats per minute coming in on the and of 3 and then ending on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The next motive is exactly the same as the second motive that we went over, but in order to be thorough and very clear, we're going to go over this motive again with the metronome coming in on the and of 2 in measure 14 and ending on the and of 4 in measure 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. We have some new material in measures 16 and 17. This comes in on beat 4 in measure 16 and ends on the and of 4 in measure 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. The next bit of melodic material comes in on beat 1 in measure 21 and ends on the and of 4 in measure 22. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. The next bit of melodic material comes in on beat 4 in measure 24 and ends on the and of 4 in measure 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now that we have explored every little motive in the first verse, let's go back and put those motives together and do them 2 at a time, 4 times on the metronome, for your sake as my student, so that you have plenty of opportunity to be successful in learning this material. We're going to be coming in on the and of 3 in measure 8 and ending on the and of 4 in measure 11. That ties over to the first half note in measure 12 and completes our first 2 motives that we will be putting together on the metronome at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The next two melodic ideas that we're going to put together are going to come in on the and of 2 in measure 10 and end on beat 2 in measure 13 at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The next two short melodic ideas are exactly like the first two that we explored, but in the spirit of being thorough for you guys as my students, we're going to cover them again. So we're coming in on the and of 3 in measure 12 and ending on the and of 4 in measure 15 at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. These next two melodic ideas are two of the longest that we've had to put together thus far. We're coming in on the and of 2 in measure 14 and ending on the and of 4 in measure 18 at 80 beats per minute on the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This next bit of melodic content is quite long as well. We are coming in on beat 4 in measure 16 to the and of 4 in measure 22. Because there are two measures in the middle of these two phrases that contain two whole notes, I will count out loud through those whole notes the first two times playing it, but the second two times I will not count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, without counting out loud through the two measures in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This next two little melodic ideas start on beat 1 in measure 21 and go to the and of 4 in measure 26. There is a lengthy pause between these two melodic phrases. I will count out loud between those between the two phrases. The first two times, the last two times, I will not count out loud at all to test your ability to stay in rhythm. At 80 beats per minute on the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's time to put it all together with the metronome. We're going to play through the entire verse one time at 80 beats per minute. This shows that you truly do know this melody and that you have worked hard with the metronome to be able to develop your understanding of rhythm and how to keep good time. Coming in on the and of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So now let's get into the chorus. The chorus has a rhythmic device in it called a hemiola. This is where we take an odd number of beats and put them over an even number of beats. In this instance, we're putting 3 beats over 2. This is relatively difficult to understand musically in your mind academically or mathematically. But it's not hard to play. So if you just follow along with the video and learn to play this with me, then you'll internalize how the hemiola sounds and feels to you with and against the rhythm that's happening, and you'll be able to play it just fine. You don't have to completely understand it. Almost every phrase in the chorus has the hemiola in it. Have fun with it. It's a unique feeling rhythmic device. It makes the music fun to participate with. So the first little mini motive or mini phrase in the chorus starts on the and of 2 in measure 27 and ends with the half note in measure 28 that happens on beat 3 in that measure. 80 beats per minute, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. The next little mini phrase in the chorus comes in on beat 1 in measure 29 and ends on the half note in measure 30 on beat 3. This little mini phrase has 2 hemiolas in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. In the interest of being thorough, we are going to go over the next motive. It is exactly like the first little mini phrase that we had in the chorus, except now we have the note E on beat 1 in measure 31, and this phrase ends on the half note on beat 3 in measure 32. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Again, with being thorough, we are going to go over the next phrase, which is in measures 33 and 34, and it is exactly like the other phrase with 2 hemiolas in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, with measures 35 and 36, we just have a stream of eighth notes. Now there's two things important about this little short two-measure thing that you need to employ. One is that we have dynamics where we start soft and build through the two measures. The second thing is to be able to have control over how long the last note or eighth note in measure 36 lasts. So in order to demonstrate these two things, we're going to start quiet, build through the eighth notes, and then on the last eighth note, we're going to cut it off immediately. In the context of the ensemble, when you're playing with them, you'll want to cut the note off in a way that sounds good to pair with the rest of the ensemble. So be sure to use your ears and adjust your control appropriately. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now it's time to go back and put some of these little short melodic ideas together for the chorus. The first thing that we need to do is connect the verse to the chorus. So we're going to take the last little phrase of the verse and connect it with the first phrase of the chorus. This is going to be going from the last beat of measure 24 to the second half note in measure 28, 80 beats per minute on the metronome 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 'The next little portion of music that we're going to be going over is the first 2 little mini phrases from the chorus, coming in on the end of 2 in measure 27 and ending on the half note in measure 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So the melody for the chorus is pretty simple. So we're going to go over the last 2 little mini phrases and the group of eighth notes together. This means that we're going from measure 31 through the end of measure 36. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So it's time to put the entire chorus together with the metronome. That means we're starting with the last little phrase of the verse that comes in on the fourth beat of measure 24 and playing all the way through to the end of the chorus in measure 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now I'm going to teach the solo. I'm going to assume that you've gotten better at playing with the metronome and might can handle 2 little phrases at a time. So we're going to be going through measure 63 coming in on beat 3 with the hemiola that mirrors what the bass and rhythm guitar are doing, and ending the phrase on measure 66 with the last half note there in measure 66. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. One, two, three, four, 1, 2. Now we're going to be doing measures 67 through 70. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. So far in the solo, all I have used is downstrokes to play every note. In this half of the solo, we're going to be using some down-up strokes for our little quick down, down-up. We've got a lot of downs, but there's a little quick down-up in there from time to time. Measure 71 through 74 at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. We're going to go ahead and go from measure 75 all the way through measure 80. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next bit of music that we're going to be going over is going to tie the second verse into the solo. So we're going to be going from the pickup in measure 60, or the fourth beat in measure 60, all the way through the last half note of measure 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3. This next portion of music that we're going to put together is the second half of the solo, going from measure 71 all the way through the end of measure 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, three, 4. 2, 3, 4. The next portion of music that we're going to put together connects the second verse to the solo, and we're going to play all the way through the entire solo. This is the pickup into measure 61, all the way through measure 80 at the end of the solo. I will only play this 2 times on the metronome for the sake of time and brevity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The last little component to learn, so that you know all of the moving parts in this piece, is the ending. So we're going to be going from measure 113 to 116. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. 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 1, 2, 3, 4.